Greetings, Earthlings. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know this video is a couple days late. I had some crazy things come up on Monday and it just pushed recording out the window. And then I tried to record later that day, but the studio was just way too hot. I mean, my camera turned off in the middle of recording a session. I was dripping sweat. So I don't know if you can tell, but the lighting is different today as well. So we're recording in my house where there is air conditioning because it's going to be 102 degrees here in Southern California. So that's all the housekeeping out of the way. I hope you guys are having a good week, better than my Monday. And today we're going to be focusing on the next 2 weeks. So over here we have pile 1, clear quartz. Pile 2 is this beautiful horn coral. Pile 3 is this nearly perfect round purple stone. Pile 4 is amethyst, and pile 5 is this hag stone. So if this is not your first rodeo, I will see you at your chosen pile. If you're new here, a special hello to you. My name is Zac, and I use a natural psychic ability to read the tarot and to create your oracle. So take a second to tune into the energy of now and see which stone or crystal seems to be calling you in the most. I will offer a close-up, here momentarily, as well as a short little meditation. Once you've made that selection, you just have to scroll down to the pinned comment in either the description box or the comment box below. Find your corresponding timestamp, and I will see you at your reading. Hi Pile 1, and welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this beautiful clear quartz crystal. I also went ahead and drew a card from my animal medicine deck just to sort of give me a sense of who I'm connecting with right now. So the lizard card, okay, it talks about being a dreamer, and I think that my Pile 1 are dreamers. So you guys can see shadow, and shadow is, the kind of darker attribute to our consciousness, the subconscious. And I think that people who can see the shadow and people who are dreamers can really see through, a lot of people's hoaxes or walls and barriers quite easily and quite naturally. So you guys can see people's fears and blockages and hopes, and especially what they're resisting. So another little message for you guys with the lizard card is to, it's a call to pay attention to your dreams. So if you've never recorded them, you might try to do that. If you're someone who, doesn't dream, I used to think that I wasn't one of those people either. Now, we all do dream, depending on how many cycles of REM we can get in, we all do dream. So one way to help you to dream or remember them is to make yourself get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, basically. Now, that's not my favorite thing to do, but it does work, okay? So try having a hot tea before bed, and I bet you'll wake up remembering what you were dreaming about. So moving into the tarot in the next 2 weeks, I do have a bunch of court cards, and I'm going to draw on those kind of immediately. It's like my biggest pet peeve to receive a bunch of court cards in a reading because they just really talk about, people kind of, and I'm going a little bit on a tangent. That's like me being annoyed with the tarot. So, being dreamers, okay? Being able to see the shadow, you're able to also see your shadow side, okay? Your hopes and dreams, but also what you are resisting, okay? Now, this Five of Cups energy is a little more dense than some, okay? We're focusing on, despair. Okay, it just has despair and anguish kind of all over it. And five is a number of change. And I think perhaps some of us are resisting change, which is totally natural. But what's also natural is change itself. Okay, so the only constant in nature is change. And to resist change is going to put us in this really gray energy. And so that kind of really makes sense to me that the lizard card would come up. And it just felt very cohesive. So you guys also chose clear quartz. And clear quartz is a stone that, you can charge with any intention, any desire. It can act as any crystal. Now, what's interesting, combining this clear quartz with the lizard card is sort of a coded message that what you focus on, you will bring into being. So if you are focusing on your fears and anguish and what ifs, chances are you're going to bring that energy in. Okay, that's manifestation. And you can focus manifestation energy on something positive, like bringing in a new car, bringing in spare time, extra time for crafts, kind of like those kind of things. Or, the law of attraction works the same way with negative energies, okay? Such as, despair, guilt, okay? And it's really important that we don't manifest within these because we're going to bring those negative attributes into the light. Now, that provides an opportunity to dissolve them, which is fine, but I'm also just getting the sense that, my pile ones could really wake up to the idea that they can dream something new into being if they're not satisfied where they are, especially in their career, okay? And clear quartz. So the fact that you have dreamers and clear quartz, it's like this clear quartz can be anything. It can be an amethyst, so it provides psychic protection. It can be a garnet, to help ground and cleanse your root chakra. So it feels like identify what you wish for and what you are dreaming about, sort of create a space to be able to make this vision and to, quite literally visualize. I think it'll help you bring in this manifestation if you guys are manifesting, or at least get you out of this gray energy. Okay, so I do see a lovely transition with the colors here being in our head in gray, at least up to this King of Swords moment, and then this period of optimism and then blue skies in the future, which is great. So I see us, a little sad about something, resisting potentially cutting our losses with friends or beliefs or, some of our dreams that feel like we can't achieve in this lifetime. It's time to, take a closer look and to take a more serious look, okay? To identify if this dream truly is what you want or if it's not, okay? If it's not, it's time to let that go to make room for new, okay? If we focus only on, what's never worked out, that's only going to bring in more of that. And once we can develop that level of awareness, we're going to be able to use the law of attraction in our favor, okay, to bring in happier moments. The Two of Wands is quite literally the manifestation card, okay? You have the world in your hands. In reversed, it tells me that you guys aren't able to identify what that is because we're lost in a smoke screen. But I do see the clouds clearing, okay? The universe seems to be sending you this King of Swords who's going to help you cut through the bullshit, quite literally. So this King of Swords rules with his head over his heart, and he has extremely clear, wise judgment, okay? Very thoughtful, like full of thought and experience. This doesn't have to be masculine or feminine, okay? So we all have both sides of masculine and feminine energies in us at all times. So this person can be male or female or anything in between. There's no gender with how I read tarot. But this King of Swords is going to move you out of this dreamer state, okay? Some of us have been trying to call in manifestations without using any energy, okay? Just simply calling it in and, not taking steps to help that realize more easily. And others are just simply unable to identify what it is what we want, okay? So this King of Swords is going to help you cut through that. The swords are all about making the burden lighter, okay? And I feel like this is, getting over a relationship or getting out of a rut or not being able to identify what we want next, but feeling like we truly do want something more than we currently have. So after, meeting this person who's going to be older than you, or at the very least a lot more mature than you, who's going to be very intellectual, very thoughtful, okay? He's going to inspire action. He's here to inspire action. I see this Queen of Pentacles, as being you, someone who's very, very nurturing and who has a really practical approach to life, financially stable, but not so much in like going to spend all your money, just having a lot of gratification from keeping a very nice house, from cooking very well, from keeping a very nice garden. And she gets a lot of satisfaction from being very grounded and working in nature potentially, and just being more of like, not necessarily a homebody, but she's not someone who cares about spending her money on frivolous things, things that don't last, designer clothes. She's not interested in that. She's interested in providing a stable environment for her family. And I feel like this is you who I'm talking to. When the court cards are in reverse, I think that they talk about the self, okay? So you are her, or you're learning how to be her. And so she has a very good work-life balance. And if that's not you, it's a call, to develop this balance. If that is you, that's great. And it feels like after meeting this King of Swords, the focus should be turned inward, okay? I think that is supported energetically too. It feels like this is a call for some self-care, okay? The lizard can also talk about nurturing your human vessel, because it can, shed light on the fact that we might be really frustrated and feel limited by our human body because we're such dreamers, We have an understanding that their life is so infinite and we can bring whatever we want into being, and that we ourselves are infinite, and we've done this incarnation business so many times. We can feel really trapped in our bodies, and I feel this too. I used to run hurdles in high school and college, and it felt like my brain and my mental ability was always showed up. It always showed up, but my knees and my shins were just terrible. Hurdling was very hard on my body, and I was so frustrated for so long, and I denied my body for so long because I thought it was me being weak. It was never really about that. So it was like ignoring my body. And I'm just getting this vibe to stop ignoring what your heart is telling you or what your body is telling you. And if that's to slow down, it's, a message to heed that advice, or the universe will step in to do that for you. This, King of Wand character is yet another person or situation, or it could be you, after this self-care moment, towards the end of the next 2 weeks, you could be stepping into this power of the King of Wands. I'm drawn again to a little salamander down here. Makes me think of this lizard. So it really talks about, having inspired passion to follow your dreams. Okay. It feels like in the first week coming up, we are in this gray in our head energy. But this King of Swords is here to catapult us into a place of awareness of at least hope and optimism. Okay. And I think that you're going to be able to nurture those qualities and bring them out of you by focusing on self-care and, transitioning from this next week into week 2. I think it's really a call to, ground yourself. Okay, so quite literally spend some time in your garden. If you don't have a garden and you're kind of, in the northern hemisphere, I don't know where you guys are right now. I'm in Southern California, but the United States right now is able to have gardens is basically what I'm saying. And if you don't have a garden, I think it would be really fun to experiment with that this summer. Just the act of taking care of a plant would really help you. And I'm just getting this vibe to take care of something else, to take your focus out of your head, because we can sometimes use our abilities, our very dreamer state, against us. And it can sometimes, look like creating blocks for ourselves. And that's done by identifying, many steps towards achieving a dream and, talking yourself out of even taking any of those steps because you're like, I don't have enough money. I don't have the perfect equipment. I don't have the exact right environment. But you see how those things, they're not real blockages. You don't have to have the most perfect equipment to start making photography. You don't have to have the most perfect environment to record videos for YouTube or whatever this project is for you. This is a general reading, so try to fit this lens into your life. It doesn't have to be perfect to begin, okay? This King of Wands, it feels like a beginning, okay? And he has an excess of energy, a surplus of energy. He's, covered in this gorgeous orange energy or color, which is the color of energy, okay? And I see you moving from this gray in your headspace to, the clouds parting and into blue skies, okay? So whatever it is we're going through right now, whatever blockage, whatever despair, anguish, my advice, let's not focus on that. It's important to digest that, but in order to dream a new future into being, we have to focus on what we want. And if we don't know what that is, again, it's time to sort of take a deep dive and inspect that. And I think that's going to open up some energy for you guys. Now, I said early on that I was going to go for some clarifiers, and I was annoyed with these court cards, and it's pretty cool because I feel like the message came out and I don't need to clarify them, which is fine. I was hoping just to draw, 5 per pile today because I'm doing 5 readings. It's a bit more, but I would like to draw a few cards for you guys from my Cavo card deck. That guy wanted to come out. 360. Okay, so this talks to me about a full circle. Sorry if you could hear that car going by. Something coming full circle, okay? Some end of a cycle. And it just feels like we're talking about this energy, and maybe we're trapping our mind, I feel like, in endless cycles. I'm really getting the vibe to get out of our head. Okay, I really get this intelligent vibe from you guys. I feel like you're really in tune with the world and how it works mechanically, all the different systems and structures, and I think you might be resisting them, which is natural, and I am there with you. I feel like so much has been built up that needs to be brought down and reworked in order for civilization and society to evolve and move forward. But I think we have to use, what we have at our disposal now, if that makes sense. Crystal ball, okay? So it feels like, my dreamers here could work with scrying, okay? If you guys have never tried to scry, this might be an invitation to try that. You might have a natural aptitude for it. I think that you could, especially because you chose a clear quartz as well. So scrying is gazing into a mirror reflective surface, okay? That can be a bowl of water or a crystal ball, or, a lake, a bathtub filled with water, the sink. And you have to sort of not look at the surface, but kind of like on that material plane. The images and words and all of that can pop out, and it really comes from, unfocusing your vision. Crystal ball can also just talk about prophecy, okay? And I just really feel like you guys have the ability through visualization specifically to work with the law of attraction and manifestation. Okay, and if you guys are waiting on the returns of a manifestation, it feels like you could practice visualization, and that would really assist you. Let's draw one more card. Finding a niche. Okay. So I do think that message about the current systems, feeling like they're against us and not really built for our dreams is kind of strong for this pile. Finding a niche really talks about, you guys already are very talented and capable people. Okay, if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of talents, you do. Everyone has a unique talent. It's all about discovering what that is, okay? It's not just famous people that have talents, okay? We all have multiple talents. So when this card comes out, it tells me that you guys are already doing what you're doing very well, but you're looking at your success, comparing it to the person who did it first. okay? For example, like if you were a painter and you were trying to emulate Picasso, you have to take your style, even if it is, similar to Picasso, you have to add your sprinkle of you in order to, take it to the level where you can find your own success. Not Picasso's success, but your own success. Again, this is a general reading, so try to make this metaphor fit into your life. But finding a niche, it just tells me that you guys already have this talent. It's very well developed, and it's definitely something to celebrate. But in order to find the success that you guys are looking for, you're going to have to, heed this advice to ground yourself and turn some energy back in on you to feel inspired again, but also get out of your head. And I think, there are many ways to get out of your head. Okay, you guys can practice meditation, a guided visualization. There are plenty of psychoactive substances that could assist you with a vision journey. I'm getting that vibe, okay? I just keep coming back to this finding a niche card. I feel like I'm not illustrating that well enough for you. I feel like I have to tell you again, that you are doing whatever you're doing. I don't know specifically who I'm talking to or what this is about, but what you do is very well done. It's just you have to bend it a little bit. You have to reshape it so that it reflects you and your opinion. Okay, so for example, if you wanted to do a cooking YouTube, and you were emulating, I don't know, Ina Garten, okay, and loved her aesthetic. But Ina Garten doesn't necessarily, her focus is more on natural good foods that are local, really yummy recipes that last, year in and year out. And for example, you might be very passionate about the environment and sustainability. So you could have been emulating Ina Garten, and as your aesthetic, that was very successful and you're a very good cook. But in order to take it and to find success, you have to sprinkle in that a bit of, activism, that bit of environmentalism. And I hope that example works for you guys. So this is what I'm getting for your next 2 weeks. I think it's pretty well illustrated through the tarot, and I hope that this message resonated for you guys. If it did, I would love to talk to you guys in the comment section below, as always. And if you've made it this far into the video, I'd love to see a really big thumbs up. And if you want to see more like this in the future, you can press subscribe. And until next time, stay divine. Hi Pile 2, and welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this beautiful horn coral. Horn coral is a great fossilized coral to work with if you are needing some protection. Okay, it's a very good protective stone because it's, stood the test of time. So to begin, your 2-week forecast, I drew a card from my animal medicine deck, okay? And I drew the beaver for you guys in reverse, okay? So you guys are my builders, okay? Especially creatives is what I'm seeing in this spread. And I'm seeing this number 22. And I just get, that's a master number. I also have my Master of Arts card, and there's a lot of mastery in this 3 of Pentacles too. Okay, so we also have the Master of Death. And I kind of get a good feel of who I'm speaking to and what energy this is for my piled 2s. And I also just have a quick little, note. If you guys were drawn to pile 1, I think that you are also supposed to receive messages in pile 1, just because there are some overlapping themes I can see building here. And we also have the clear quartz crystal that I'm just now picking up on in this beaver card. So if you guys were pulled to another pile, it's always most likely that your answers are a combination. And that's always fine, to receive messages from more than one pile. Okay, so I want to talk about this beaver card first, and I'm going to start this reading by asking you guys a couple questions. So I myself was unfamiliar with this card in the reverse, so I just, had to read excerpt from the medicine card book, and I thought that the questions, especially 2 of them, were really poignant, and I'm going to just, begin, okay? So I want you guys to ask yourself these questions. Have I made room for new experiences? Am I willing to work with others? Am I resentful of having to work? And then these last two, I feel like you guys are really feeling, okay? So, do I express my creativity by doing or just by dreaming about it? And then finally, has my mind created so many obstacles to productivity that I feel like a failure before I begin? Okay? So, I just feel like I need to let you guys know that your craft is beautiful, excellent, and well developed. There's no question about it, okay? And I'm going to go right for the tarot because it's so illustrative and funny. Every time I go into a reading and I take, a very meditative approach, a very quiet approach, I always get messages that are, like so much more impactful and just relates so much more. Because this beaver card, it talks about what's damming the flow, and needing to identify that and then remove it. Okay. And I get that literally right here. You guys are, this is my Master of Arts card, this Eight of Pentacles. You guys are perfecting some area of your life, and this can be career or talent, any. This is a general reading, so I'm not going to be able to identify what that is, but it feels like potentially working with your hands, especially. So that could be anything along the lines of ceramics, massage, so any creative effort, but also any work effort too. And I quite literally see the creative block happening with the Empress in reverse. Okay. So I see you guys, very kind of meditatively working on honing on something to the level of perfection. Okay. Really mastering it. And I think that gives you a little bit of, lack of scope is what I'm going to call it. This gray energy, if I'm looking at the colors that describe energetically over the next 2 weeks, I see, a creative block coming, followed by clarity at the very end, okay? And there are many keys here to unlocking some success and getting over this creative block, okay? Primarily becoming, the Empress. So someone who gives back, and is able to nurture themselves as well as other people, but especially other relationships and friendships. Okay, so we have 2 threes here. Okay, threes are about the power of 3. They're about friends and love and creativity, especially. And I think that my pile 2s are very good at their job or their talent, and they get a lot of satisfaction from doing it themselves. But I want to let my pile 2s know that if they hope to achieve, new heights and, ascend towards maybe their life purpose, it feels like you need to add an element of collaboration. Okay. And you might try to find other creatives to help you with this creative project over the next 2 weeks. There's some sort of blockage going on. And for me, it almost feels like, paying too much attention to the little details instead of, and mindlessly doing that almost, perfecting it out of, the gray. It just talks about your mind, head in the clouds, a smoke screen, and confusion. And a lot of that energy can cause, negative emotions such as guilt and fear and turmoil and anguish. And I think that you guys are doing remarkably well at whatever your craft is. Again, I get a master, a level of a master, 22, master number, Master of Arts, mastering with this 3 of Pentacle cards. But it's time to, refill your well with creative ideas. Okay, and if you feel like your well has run dry, and I see that happening towards the end of, the next week, or potentially this is where you're already sitting, okay? And it feels like we need to bring an element into balance, and that's work. If you're someone who feels extremely resistant to work right now, it feels like try to identify what that is. Why are we resisting work? We have a human vessel. We have to feed it, provide a house for it, water, entertainment, enriching the soul, and all of those things cost money. Okay, so even if we're a part of the crew, myself included, who feels like this world isn't really designed for creative people, there are ways to use the system. It's just about being even more creative. Okay, so you guys are really used to being creative with your hands and your jobs and your talents. It's time to use that creative ability to unlock something that's damming the flow right now. Okay, and it feels like this is around you know opportunity. Okay, it feels like it just it's very easy for me to say, quiet yourself and sense it, but it truly does feel like that's the focus right now. If you guys are experiencing writer's block or just, feeling super uninspired and not creative, it's time to share these projects with others and to get, new ideas. I just get a huge call to co-collaborate for my pile twos. And, I myself am an artist and I work in many mediums, and I like to cross pollinate within my own work, but it's not often that I look for opinions of other creatives. And, that's for a multitude of reasons. However, whenever I do, and if that advice is even unsolicited, it's always helpful. Okay. If you don't like what you hear as far as advice or critique, you can let that pass from you. And it doesn't have to be, a decision. You ultimately will make the decision of whether or not this is going to stick or not. But it does feel like you guys could really benefit from a counsel of sorts, sharing this creative task with someone else. And there's an element of, needing to let it go. Okay. I think that some of us are mastering something right now, and I was trying to get this message out earlier, but we're focusing on the tiny details and we're not, we're lacking scope. It feels like we need to look at a bigger picture and, where we want to be in the long run instead of, I think that we're really capable of identifying little steps to take right now, and we're feeling really satisfied by achieving all these little milestones, these little tiny steps that are cumulative and will add up over time. But it feels like we might be bricking a path into the wrong direction, or one that's not necessarily designed for us, or one that's not going to be fulfilling. Okay. And it feels like we need to head into a direction that is more fulfilling to us, and that is going to be done by taking a pause and heeding the advice from the beaver to identify what's damning you in order to remove that impasse. And some of us, are blocking opportunity from coming in, and that is friendships, collaborations, opinions, critique. We're hiding some aspect that we're building, okay? And we're just feeling like we have to guard it because we're so proud of it. And it's okay to share that with other people because that frees you up, is just what I feel like, okay, you guys? So the death, this feels like letting this extreme focus go for a bit, relaxing that, and that can be done through self-care. But I see us, kind of working on something else, okay? It feels like applying this talent that we're very good at in a different field. Okay, so if you guys were, pretend that these pentacles are ceramic plates. Okay, so if you were working and making a bunch of ceramic plates because you wanted to open up a pottery business, it feels like collaborating with a shop that's already established to sell your wares. And then as a result, so many more people are going to acknowledge your work and see it and be exposed to it. And it's going to catapult you in a new direction. And if you try to build that all by yourself, you're going to have to establish a brand name, you're going to have to get visibility, and you're going to lose, time from focusing on honing your craft, which you guys so love to do. And it feels like opening your eyes to opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily want to identify with right now could really bring forward, a really ripe, abundant harvest that seems to want to come in. The death card, it just talks about letting something go in order to bring in the harvest, okay? It feels like letting something go that we've been focusing all of our attention on, and it feels like letting go of doing it by yourself, okay? It feels like something is ready to come out, something has been polished to perfection, and we're holding on to it afraid of critique and afraid of what the world is going to think of it. And I just want to give my pile twos sort of a little bit of confidence, okay? Because after the death card, we have, a lot of new ideas, okay? And a lot of inspiration and, you know, defending that, okay? Seven Wands, that can also talk about life purpose, okay? Because quite literally under the deck, I have the card for me that talks about life purpose, which is the Ace of Swords. And it feels like you guys are comfortable where you're at, but you have that sense in you of wanting more, just not able to quite identify what that is. And I think it's because we've been honing in on something. We've been like laser focused on something. This is either climbing a career ladder or achieving the next level to your talent or perfecting a series, a creative series. It could be fibers, painting, photography, anything along those lines, or just a career ladder, like I said. But our life purpose is a little bit bigger than that, actually. And it requires, in order to scale new heights, collaboration, okay? And it feels like for some of you who are comfortable building this new business, that just means hiring some people to help you to do the busy work, okay? So that you can be in a creative space. And I think that's where your talents really lie. I think you're quite capable at doing this. And it's time, to maybe come up with the ideas, but allow other people to work on them, the small things for you. Perhaps like you are someone who's interested in creating jewelry and, you're not having any time to create new because you're focusing on getting all these old projects out the door, and it's causing a block of sorts, You're feeling like creatively drained and just really uninspired as a result, and just feeling extremely blocked and impeded. And it's because we want to make sure our stamp is on everything, but you already created that idea. Okay? If these were plates, for example, you already designed those plates. It's okay to let people carve the pentacle into them. It's okay to let people stain them and to fire them in the kiln. And it's going to be your artwork regardless. It just feels like we need some help, some teamwork, okay? And we could benefit from bringing in some creatives, okay? To let go of control, but also for some of us, again, this is a general reading, so I can pick up on multiple energies, and you're going to have to figure out when I'm talking to you. For those of you who have been honing this series for a while, it's time to let it go, okay? Especially in 2 weeks from now, it feels like. And I feel like that jolt of confidence was for you, okay? Because you're going to need to defend this idea, whatever this decision you made. Okay, there's this idea of defense, but again, as a result of heeding this advice, okay, of seeking out other creatives to help you with this venture or project, you're going to get exactly what you were originally after, which is removal of the creative block and an inspiration. Okay, lots of new ideas and energy and motivation and passion as a result of letting this aspect go. Okay, when my voice cracks like that, it means that this was really important for someone. So I think that this message is coming through very beautifully and naturally, and I would like to wrap up here, and I'm going to draw just a few more cards just to see if we can get any more hints. Okay. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. You guys are very, very, very good at what you do. You're very clever. You're very smart and able to identify exactly what you need to do in order to achieve it. And you are more than capable, okay? But in order to crown yourself with a higher life purpose, in order to reach the level of success that your soul craves underneath it all, underneath all the perfectionism, you have to allow a little bit of that control to go. At least allow other ideas to come in and influence your project. Allow opportunity to come in for you. Open the door and make space and stay away for that. And stay aware, for those opportunities to come through. Okay, another just quick message is just to visualize the goal, okay? And be willing to work with others. Okay, visualize what it is you want. Visualize what is preventing this from coming in, from preventing you from reaching this new next level. identify what that is so that you can remove it, okay? Clever, I'm just getting, honestly using a little bit of this cleverness against you. Okay, so you're so able to identify all the little steps that, again, you're able to take them on, but as a result, it's draining your well. Okay. Infinity talks to me about your potential and your star potential, okay? I think that you're here to do something quite big, and you have a lot of creative ability, and you've honed that for multiple lives. It's time in this life, in this incarnation, to take it to the next level, okay? I think you could be very, very abundant and successful in this lifetime, okay? And it feels like the sky is the limit. Okay. I also want to remind you guys that going through this energy over the next 2 weeks, getting out of your head is going to be the result. Okay. So I know that we're in there, feeling a little lack of optimism, feeling very uninspired and gray-ish area, or just feeling like wanting without identifying what that is. You're ending in this blue clear zone. Okay. I just wanted to let you know that after there's no rainbow unless there's rain, right? No rain, no flowers, and there is clarity to come. Tonight talks about doing something for yourself tonight. I think it's putting down the tools tonight. Okay, take a break tonight. And I think this is you needing to make space. And again, if you guys were drawn or pulled to pile 1, I would take a look at that card or that pile, okay? Tonight just talks about now. The time of the now, the present, and I get this vibe to begin this now. I feel a little inspired by this reading, and I feel like you guys are too. I think that we've been in our head, and this feels like a long time coming, and we just gained so much satisfaction from doing this on our own, from perfecting it, and that we're afraid that there aren't going to be any new ideas if we let this go, or that it's not going to be 100% us if we bring in other people to help us. It truly is going to still be you, okay? Many people work behind the scenes. Okay, so this is what I'm getting for the next 2 weeks for my pile 2s, and I hope that it really resonated, and if it did, I would love to talk to you guys in the comment section below, as always. If you've made it this far in the reading, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, but it also helps other people to receive these messages. And if you want to see more like this in the future, you can press subscribe, and until next time, stay divine. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this beautiful, nearly round, purple stone. I found this with my boyfriend on the San Juan Islands in northern Washington. And it just, I looked down and I was like, that's the one. I like to pick up stones wherever I go, to remind me of the places that I've been. So maybe this is a confirmation for someone in my Pile 3 to take that trip to the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so before we take a look at the next 2 weeks, I wanted to draw an animal medicine card to sort of speak to me about the current energetic state, but also to describe who I'm speaking with energetically. So I drew dog for you guys, and that tells me that you guys are my guardians, okay? You guys are very loyal people, especially to family and friends. And I have a couple questions to ask you guys that I pulled from the animal medicine deck, and I just thought that would be a great place to kick off this reading. So I want you guys to ask yourself these following questions. Have I been loyal and true to my goals? Is it possible that the opinions or gossip from others has jaded your opinion to a certain friend? And it's just, are you being true to your personal truth? Is that where your allegiance lies, or does it lie in someone else? So immediately I'm getting this sense that you guys will put others before you no matter what, even if it's at a detriment to your career, your goals and dreams and desires. And the dog comes out to say that it's time to balance that. I think that that's beautiful. Okay, to an extent, until we give away our power. And by giving away power, I mean to say by putting others before us at the cost of ourselves continuously. Okay, sometimes once in a while, that's fine, normal, and even a good thing to do. But if that's our default, that tells me, it really talks about, the dog that comes back to his owner even after he's been kicked. Okay. And I get this sense that you're unable to separate yourself from your family, even though you feel like the black sheep. And that change, is kind of necessary over the next 2 weeks if you hope to get out of this. Okay. So it's just, it's your focus is always on serving other people, and that comes at a loss of your power. So we are all individual gods, okay? We are all unique expressions of consciousness so that consciousness can experience itself. And so when we give other people's dreams our energy, and it sort of means that we don't have any for ours, okay? It means that we don't accomplish anything in this life because we feel like we get the best feeling from helping other people, and there's a balance to be had there, okay? And there's a recognition that when we give constantly to other people, we are telling our bodies that we're not, loving ourselves, essentially, and your body will pick up disease as a result. So if you guys have been feeling particularly unwell, there's something that you just haven't been able to get rid of, some little small cold that keeps coming back. It feels like, so whenever my voice cracks desperately like that, I know that I'm tuning into someone, and I want to let you know that, that this is important to listen to. Okay, so disease will crop up in the body if it feels untreated and unsafe. And I just get this sense that, some of us are going through things and experiencing illness, and this could be solved by putting ourselves first for a while. And I know that you're uncomfortable with that, but I can only give you my advice. So 10 of Pentacles in reverse. What I'm picking up first is Ulysses and his dogs. The story there is that he disguised himself, and when he came back to his village, he was not recognizable, but his dogs were able to recognize him. And what's really cool is that I drew the dog for you guys, and there are 2 dogs right there, okay? 2 little greyhounds, okay? Greyhounds could be a confirmation for you guys. That might be very symbolic to you. I get this sense, though, in reverse, that Pentacles, the feeling of satisfaction and attainment is going to drop away. So I get this sense that our family is trapping us, okay? Especially because we have the 3 of Swords coming up here and the element of nostalgia at the end of the reading, okay? So it feels like, if I'm, going to continue describing who I'm picking up on energetically, someone who will put their dreams and desires and career goals on the wayside, on the back burner, in order to help out family. And there is a balance to be met here. There are always more solutions available. There is always more than meets the eye. If you feel like you have to be home to take care of a parent, there is a balance there that you're not able to create right now, but there is always room for creation. Okay, there are other people that you can ask. You just have to make a first step from you just have to take that first step, and the universe will provide. Okay, you might think that sounds hoaxy and namby-pamby and woo-woo, and that's not the case. Okay, I could give you many examples about how I just had to take that first step in order to catapult many things, and I will actually take a moment right now to describe one instance for you. I was locked in a job for 3 years at an animal hospital that was sucking the soul out of my life. Okay, pile 3 is quite literally sucking the soul out of my life. I think something is sucking your soul. Something energetically is robbing you of your potential. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. It just is uncomfortable for you. So I got all sorts of symbols and signs and synchronicities to leave that job, okay? And I just couldn't do it. I needed the money. And one time, one day, enough was enough, okay? 3 years of loathing, okay? I quit the job once, literally moved to a different state, but then had to come back that's a different story. And I just couldn't get out of this cycle. I couldn't leave it behind. And the 10 is the end of a cycle, okay, you guys? And one day it was too much. It was the breaking point, and I walked out of the job, okay? I just left the building. And that step, it caused a bunch of things to shift, some good, some bad. So I immediately lost a side job that I had randomly, completely unrelated that I was hoping on working, but I was immediately gifted a wedding to shoot from the universe, as well as assisting my favorite photographer, ever. Okay. And this is not a fake story. The second I left that job, I was that weekend I got a phone call, okay, and then I got an email the following week to book that wedding. And it was just very cool to see how that worked, because I was sensing it for a while, but we're human, okay? So we sit in reality, and we don't think of things like spirituality as being real. It feels like a pipe dream, but that's just, as real as it can possibly get in my body. I was collecting all sorts of synchronicities and signs and symbols that I thought I was receiving, but I felt like I needed to be convinced. The universe won't do that because that's an impingement on your free will. Okay, you always have free will. That's why nothing will happen if you sit and wait for it to happen, because that's acting against your free will. Okay, so in order to make this step, this transition, it has to come from a genuine desire and actual action. Okay, I see the sense of being trapped in family issues, okay, relationships. And I see us, in this first week also reflecting on what we've built so far. Okay, and I think that this energy is important because, the advice to transition from week 2 or from 1 to week 2 is this breakup of sorts. Okay, and we'll get there. But in order to, get clarity on some situation, I do see a bunch of gray energy here. It feels like we need to assess. Okay, we've grown something. For some of us, this isn't about family matters, and again, this is a general reading, so I pick up on multiple energies. You have to use your discernment to decide when I'm speaking to you. This energy in the beginning, it feels like wanting career success and wanting a little bit more money. For others, this is talent. This is manifestation for some of us, and it feels like a windfall is not coming because we're blocked. Our over sense of loyalty is kind of blocking us. It feels like we're not being true to ourselves, and it's causing disharmony, okay? And it feels like we need to put ourselves on the center stage, okay? Take center stage like this character in the Two of Pentacles. But in order to make this decision, in order to take the advice of this Three of Swords, which is to cut our losses, to cut this relationship with, I think, family, but also with ourself, our sense of needing to always serve others and fill others' glasses before our own, okay? That sense of victimhood is really toxic, okay? Because that's something that you put on yourself, and the swords are about cutting away that burden. Okay, I know that this is a difficult topic to discuss with you, but I only can tell you what I see and what I feel and what the advice is. Okay, so please try not to take offense. And again, if something does not resonate, that message is not meant for you, or you are not ready to receive that message. 7, reflecting on what we've built so far in order to, decide where we might want to go next with the project, or if we want to just finish it there. And it feels like we've grown quite a bit, okay? So there's 7 pentacles here. That's quite a bit. And we're just not satisfied with it. There's some element of needing to reflect and get a second opinion, and there's something holding us back, okay? I'm picking up again, it just feels family, it feels like relationships, and this feels like something that society has enforced upon you, and this is not an idea or belief that you have created yourself. It feels like you felt like it was easier to go along with this first, to go along with this instead of designing your own, because you guys don't like disharmony. Okay, you want to keep everyone happy and harmonious, and oftentimes at a detriment to yourself. Okay, so there is a call, though. The advice in order to help you energetically move forward down your path that you already created before you incarnated here is to cut this tie. It feels like a relationship, you guys. It feels like this is not healthy. It feels like it's holding you back, and you know that, but there is some part of you that gets satisfaction from serving others. Yet I want to tell you there is another part that's bigger that will receive satisfaction from serving yourself if you give yourself the opportunity to live in that mindset instead. This is just a current mindset, okay? It's not reality. it to, serve others and empty your vessel at all times. That feeling, that emotion you get isn't tangible, okay? That's what the swords are talking about, okay? It's not reality. The pentacles are, okay? That's a grounded energy. That's a real talent that you can see and work and hone, or a real career. And the swords, the element of air, you can't touch air, you can't see air, okay? And it just is a reminder that, this feeling isn't real, and thus, you have the ability to change it, okay? What you focus on, you create more of. And if you focus on feeling like you're such a good person for being such a loyal person, there are other aspects that are going to have to die and go on the wayside as a result. Okay, and I'm just getting this strong message to cut this tie, and that energetically right now, the transition from your next 1 week to the next 2 weeks, what's going to help that and what is supported energetically is breaking up, okay? Relieving this 3 swords are weighing on your heart, okay? These 3 mental planes, 3 ideas, 3 belief systems, 3 limiting belief systems, okay? Something designed by society, something outside of yourself. And it feels like we feel trapped because we feel very loyal to our family and friends, and they think that we're going to be someone else if we allow ourselves to change and shift. But friend, that's not going to be the case, because if they are holding you back, or if they do not value as much for changing, they're not meant for you, okay? You can always create more people and attract more people and relationships in your life, especially relationships and friendships that serve you instead of take from your well constantly, okay? So the 2 of Pentacles, it feels like work-life balance as a result of heeding this action. I'm going to just assume that you do, okay, in order to move forward with this reading, okay? So I'm just getting, this idea that smooth waters don't make a skilled sailor, okay? And this feels like juggling many things, okay? It feels like you have a lot of responsibility to your home and to your family, and that there is a balance that can be found that is more harmonious, okay? 6 is talking about harmony. And I get this sense that you're pouring out of yourself constantly, and your well is going to run dry, okay? And that we have to define a new will, one that serves us as well as people, okay? Because there is a balance to find here. And there's always more creative options available to us. It's just a matter of gaining a new perspective. And I get that from this figure here, but it's also talking about stepping on center stage, okay? Allowing the spotlight to shine on you for a little bit. Okay, you guys? And this can be a decision too, okay? 2s are about duality, okay? There are 2 sides to every coin, okay? There could be other family members you could ask to help assist you with this, okay? And I think I touched on this loyalty issue enough. I'm going to move forward, okay? So, the result of either making this decision, the result of creating balance, a much better balance between work and play, but also, this can talk about juggling many things in your life favorably. In reverse, it would say that everything would topple, the apple cart will topple, but it feels like you guys are very capable of juggling many things going on at once, okay? And I see you moving, into the 2nd week into a period of harmony, okay? The 6 of Cups just talks about love and harmony and friendships and childhood to me, okay? This could be talking to someone from your childhood who inspires you creatively, especially inspires you to dream. This feels like a relationship too. Okay, so I haven't done this with my other cards or my other piles. I am going to draw a couple relationship cards for you guys, because this feels like a lot like relationship karma. And if I look at the energy here, I see a period of, recently you guys could have celebrated some element of success, okay? This doesn't necessarily have to be talking about family, but that's what I felt strongest, okay? This could be a recent success, and then, needing to build something up again and cutting the ties with some relationship with other people or yourself in order to bring in something else into balance, okay? But I am getting a strong relationship read, and I see us in our head really confused and lost, okay, in the middle of this week, but moving into a period of blue, okay? And this is just it feels like a baby step because this color is very pale. It's a very pale blue, okay? But that regardless is clearer thinking, okay? It doesn't feel like we're very confident in this new decision, but even getting this as a heads up might be helpful to you guys, okay? These two. 3. Okay, true love is the only card that's upright. This is the romance of a lifetime. Now these guys, oh, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. It says healing family issues, okay? Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Some of you just needed that message, okay? I'm not going to keep kicking this horse while it's down, okay? Beating this dog while it's down kind of deal. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. You know, it feels like we're trapped in a marriage. It feels like we made a decision when we were far too young to get married, and we feel trapped in that, and we feel like we can't escape that because we're afraid of what our parents and friends will think of divorce. Friends, okay? Again, it doesn't matter what other people think, and I know that that's easy to say, but I'm just going to keep telling you that, okay? Because there feels like some wool that needs to be pulled off your eyes. I feel like you were almost like given away like this bride, okay? Almost like it was pre-designed and you didn't really have a choice, and it feels like you were trapped in this, but it's time to free yourself, okay? The swords are all about freeing ourselves, okay? There's true love out there if you can have the courage to make this breakup, to have this divorce, okay? And, you know, I get that, you know, I know that this is not going to be a popular message, and some people, you know, in this reading are feeling like WTF. But if you guys were drawn to another pile, it's most likely that there was a small message here, but there is a better message in that other pile. But I'm just going to move forward with this healing family issues, especially with loyalty. I just get this sense that you are serving someone, and that's out of guilt. And we can never operate out of negative emotions because that will never serve us, and it doesn't identify the true path, okay? It creates a really foggy smoke screen from which we act behind, and that's not the path that we created in this life. We will never operate in harmony if we're operating from a place of fear or guilt, okay? Guilt has the only purpose of guilt and any negative emotion is to cause you to reflect on it, okay? To cause you to look at it, to look at in the mirror, to see what is causing this feeling of guilt, because you're not supposed to hold on to it forever. Okay, some of us have survivor's guilt. Okay, and I just get this victim sense. Okay, there goes my voice, yes. And I feel like this is going to prickle you more than help you, but I think that this might be the first step, okay? And that's all that's necessary at this time. So this is what I'm getting from my pile 3s, okay? And I will draw just a few more cards to see if I can get any more of that information. It feels like honestly just one. Okay, put in the hours. It was in reverse, which really makes me feel like you guys have put in the hours, okay? And it's time to turn that in on yourself, okay? When the cards are reversed, it talks about a self lesson, something that you are learning. And it's just a little bit of faith is required right now to move forward, okay? Yeah, it's time to put in the hours back in on ourselves. Okay, guys? So this is what I'm getting from my pile 3, and I hope that it resonated. If it did, please leave a comment below. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. If you've made it this far in the reading, you guys can give me a really big thumbs up. It helps other people receive these messages, but it also helps my channel. And until next time, guys, stay divine. Hi, pile 4, and welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this beautiful amethyst. Amethyst to me talks about psychic protection and just, you know, anything that deals with psychicism. So if you're hoping to, you know, develop clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, you know, intuition, anything like that, amethyst is just, you know, the most perfect stone I could ever think of besides clear quartz to assist you with that. So before we take a look at the next 2 weeks, I drew an animal medicine card to sort of give me a sense of who I'm connecting to energetically and where you are currently at energetically in your life. And you guys have a want for harmony is what I feel like. And you guys got the Tower card. So before we get alarmed, you know, stick around to the end of the reading. This is actually quite positive. But again, let's go back to this bat. The bat talks about rebirth, okay? And it's I'm laughing a little bit to myself. I am doing a totally different style of where I read today, regardless of, I'm in a different room, I'm inside. Energetically, I'm just like so much more grounded. And as a result, the readings have been just like really, really strong. Like there's lots of imagery that's really perfect because, literally the bat and rebirth is this tower moment here. Okay, you guys? So it just feels like there's some aspect in our life that we are resisting, okay? And this tower will come crumbling down, okay? This is a fated event coming through. I usually don't draw attention to things like this will happen ever because tarot is just a mirror, but the tower is one of the cards that I pay attention to because it is often always correct, okay? So what happens when the tower comes up? Okay, so I like to think of a pyramid, think of the Pyramid of Gizas and how they're built with large blocks. Now, imagine you wanted to build something in your life, okay, but it wasn't quite what you designed before you reincarnated down here on Earth, and you wanted to go off in a direction, and again, it wasn't quite right. So you began to pull blocks off the bottom of the tower, the bottom of the pyramid, to pave your path. Eventually, I guess you can think of the game Jenga. It's going to come crumbling down. It talks about building a foundation that is not stable, okay? And that could be, going down a path because you're motivated by a negative emotion such as fear or guilt or worry, anything negative oriented like that. Or something that was blinding your ego, or maybe your ego is stepping into the forefront and leading you astray. So the tower comes in to, break it down because it's for your greater good. You designed something else and you are being redirected, okay? Now, a cool message for you guys is you have the positive aspect of the tower card, okay? And I haven't even gotten to the fact that you guys have the wish card following. So the positive aspect is you guys know what this is, okay? This is a very specific message. I just want to get it off my chest really quickly. Some of you are going through a spiritual awakening, okay? And that's amazing. So I see the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck in reverse. It talks about occult knowledge that way and an unpractical approach to life, which just means, taking the path not, traveled. So, back to what I was saying. The positive aspect of this tower card being reversed lets me know that you guys are aware. Okay, you're getting signs, red flags. Pay attention to the red flags. Okay, I'm seeing a red flag there, and here. Okay, quite literally, I'm seeing imagery of red flags. So I know that you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, and I know that it takes a lot of effort to give this project up because that's what it feels like. It feels like you're giving it up, and it's just, that's the way we're looking at it. It feels like it. Feelings aren't tangible, okay? They're that thought realm, the intangible air. You can't hold air. You can't hold smoke, okay? So they're not real, okay? They're not concrete. And that way we can change them. They're mutable, okay? So instead of focusing on elements of fear and illusion and maybe serving the ego, it's time to tear this tower down for ourselves, or the universe will do it for us, okay? Because it's for our greater good. We designed a path and there's some resistance, some call for a rebirth, and it feels like this is a major transition in your life, okay? You chose a very powerful stone. Amethyst, I'm just getting that hit again of psychic protection, and I think that you guys could really utilize some amethyst in your life. If you're feeling like particularly dark and needing to really transmute some energy, you could also work with amethyst because it will literally just inspire joy and this feeling of creation. So the bat, it comes from the dark cave. I'm seeing lots of black, like literal black energy coming from this tower moment, and it's making me think of the void, and you guys know what's next. I'm going to draw a message from the void, and you guys are the first pile I was called to do this for, so let's see if we can get a message from the void for you guys before we go deeper into your reading. I do feel like I want one more. Okay. Expect the unexpected. Okay? So, again, usually I quite like this card. Expect the unexpected, because it talks about a powerful mindset to be in. If we are expecting, negative things to happen, that's what we're calling in. But if we work with creation, if we acknowledge the void and how powerful the darkness is, every aspect of life comes from darkness. Quite literally, think of a womb, of female anatomy. A child is birth. Okay, so it's not a negative thing to be in darkness. It's quite literally where life emerges from the darkness. Okay, I'm just getting this bat in a cave and darkness going on again. So, though, expect the unexpected. Okay, I think that some of you are saying, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's happening. Okay, that's the hit I'm getting. And I'm also just reaffirming that some of you know what I'm talking about and are sensing this tower moment that's about to happen. Okay, this could be like the loss of a pet, because it just doesn't work with the contract at your apartment, or your boyfriend, for example. Like mine is allergic to cats, and so you couldn't have a cat. But you were living in that experience of enjoying having a cat for long and just, denying that something is going to happen, denying that the shoe is going to drop, And you guys are aware of that. So expect the unexpected. I think you guys are expecting it, is what I'm getting, okay? So the next message is, you certainly don't lack talent. Do you apply it? Okay? Now, this feels like towards the end of the reading, so I'm going to leave that little message right there and just continue. So this tower moment, this call for a rebirth, okay? So I think that you guys are really sensing, a necessary change at the base level, okay? If this is not something that's dramatic and deep for you, this is base level, a call for change, and it's something that you're very aware of because you're unhappy or you're at ill ease. There's just something that's unsatisfying you, okay? But as a result, and after the first week in, coming up, we have the 9 of Cups card, okay? Satisfied. I get a sense that you guys are dissatisfied, okay? We're leaving something behind as a result of making a wish to get out of this area, okay? Making a wish to rebirth. Okay, to experience the unexpected, to get a real miracle. You guys feel like you need a miracle to happen, okay? I think one might be coming for you, okay? At the very least, you have the universe supporting you to make a wish right now, and I actually want to give you guys a few seconds. Feel free to pause the video, but please, take this 9 of Cups card to heart and make a wish right now. Again, feel free to pause the video, but that's just such a beautiful combination. For the tower to come out, it's always like an eye-opener, but you got it in a beautiful orientation. It just says, at the very least, you're going to know, you're going to have a heads up. So that makes you able to deal with it, right? That makes the tower moment less hard on you. And followed by the 9 of Cups, making a wish, feeling very satisfied, your cup being full as a result, of, I think, just becoming aware and, pulling the Jenga blocks yourself is going to give you your power back, is what I'm getting from this 9 of Cups. For some of us, it is truly an invitation to make a wish, okay? But for some of us, I think it's going to leave us feeling very satisfied, okay? And continuing on with this energy, once we realized how powerful it is when we step into our destiny and we take the wheel and we cause things to happen for ourselves, it's going to cause us to also leave something else behind. Okay, this feels like a relationship. It can be to a person, but also to a habit. Okay, also to, work. Okay, the cups, they also mean, intuition, relationships, emotions. And I think it's relieving some negative cycle behind. This could be negative self-talk, something. This feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, is what I'm hearing, okay? Now, we have a little bit of a regression, okay? So we have the 9 down to an 8, and that's been a theme through almost every one of my readings so far. I'm not quite sure what it means, but maybe you do, and I just felt for this reading it was important to draw that to your attention, okay? So, moving into week 2, okay? We really got through some heavy ish in week 1, okay? But we were transforming, okay? We are in the process of having a transformation, okay? A rebirth. It feels like you are transitioning from someone from the past, from someone to the new, and you're going to take an unpractical approach to life, okay? 5 is also the number of change, okay? Wanting for harmony. 4 and 2 is 6, harmony, okay? So, for those of us who have successfully heeded this advice, and made these steps in our life, we're getting the Ace of Wands. What else better than that? It is quite literally the gift that we've been wishing for. Okay, this is inspiration. Okay, motivation and passion, new ideas, life purpose, and spirituality is written all over this. Okay, you guys chose a very spiritual stone. The bat tells me you guys, could be in tune and sense this. Okay, especially since the tower is in reverse. You guys are sensing this at the very least. Okay, lots of cup energy. Okay, lots of ability to feel through your emotions and feelings. Okay, and as a result, the universe, because this is a gift, the white hand with streaming is emerging from the cloud to give you the Ace of Wands, okay? The power to do anything, not necessarily a follow through energy, but any project. You feel inspired to create and to go forward. Okay, there is nothing stopping you at this time. Look in the distance. So far away was this tower, right? It kind of feels like that's the tower. This gray castle in the background. And it's, we were able to leave that behind, okay? We're far away now, okay? We've really moved on. We've left this behind. Again, this is a general reading. You're going to have to figure out what lens this is for you guys, what I'm talking about. But this does feel like a new life purpose, okay? This feels like pursuing a new path in life, different from, at very least, different from who you used to be, okay? But maybe very different than from your friend groups or circles or family members, something along those lines, okay? But you're gonna have so much energy at the very least, okay? And you're becoming the Knight of Wands as a result, okay? So when the court card's in reverse, it feels like it's like you learning the lessons to become them, okay? And I see you becoming this Knight of Wands. So much passion and energy. You can get any project off the ground, no matter what that is, okay? You can help assist people, or you can get your own project off the ground. So this message from the void, it said, you certainly don't lack talent. Do you apply it? Okay. So that message, it tells me that you guys have some sort of talent and ability, we all do, that's honed, okay? You've spent quite a bit of time on it. It's just you have a problem applying it, okay? I feel like you picture yourself doing very well, but you spend all your creative energy imagining it, but do you spend any of your actual energy realizing that, okay? Do we get to see in the physical form, the tangible form, not the thought realm? Are we able to see this talent? Do you write the book? Do you share the artwork? Do you share the idea? Or do you just keep them in your head? It's talking about right now to share them. These far, fetched ideas that you have, creative projects, things that you envision for yourself, what you're passionate about. It's time to share that. And you're getting such a burst of energy, okay, in this second week coming up after we deal through this, okay? And it's just a call to apply it, okay? Acknowledge what this dream is. Acknowledge what path you are really meant to go down. Heed the advice of this redirection, okay? And apply this talent. It feels like for some of us, we have a talent and a career idea and it's in our back pocket, but we're choosing a really practical approach because we're afraid of something, Holding on to something could be another way of looking at that. We don't want to let it go. We've put a lot of love and energy and time into it, and we don't want to let it go. And so, even though we have this talent, we're not using it because, all of our time and energy goes into this other thing that we thought we were going for, though we are being redirected. Okay, and I hope that makes sense for you guys. So what I'm going to do is draw a few more cards for my pile 4 to see if I can get any more little tidbits about what seems to be coming over the next 2 weeks. I'm feeling you, and I'm feeling you. Air, okay? And breaking the mold. Oh my God, okay, you cannot make this up. So air, yeah, just it's talking about, the intangible feeling, the belief system, okay? The Hierophant is here to talk to you about reevaluating your belief system, okay? It's giving you the invitation to take the unapproved route, okay? To break the mold. Literally, this Knight of Wands is, if it's a person coming through, they're going to help you break the mold, but I do feel like it's you wanting to break free, okay? You guys got the bat. That's the coolest card, from this animal medicine deck. It's the most spiritual card, okay, besides the eagle, which is spirit itself, and maybe eagles are significant to you. It talks about rebirth and the magic of that process. I mean, this amethyst is beautiful. It's pure magic, okay? You're being invited to break the mold, and you're getting an opportunity energetically over the next 2 weeks to make this move, but you have to make that move, okay? And because you're sensing it, you can get ahead of it. Okay, the tower doesn't have to fall on top of you. You can leave it very far behind. You can let this go, let it crumble, let this project idea dissolve, relationship, whatever that is. Again, general reading, you have to figure out what I'm talking about, okay? It's just this air element, a breath of fresh air is what you require at this time. I think you're becoming a breath of fresh air for the world as a result of going through this ritual death of sorts, okay? And it's just breaking the mold, the Hierophant in reverse, it talks about an unorthodox approach, the road less traveled on, getting outside of the box, okay? This is a huge confirmation for people in my pile 4, and I hope that this message resonated for you guys. It was really fun to read for you. If you want to talk about it, I'd love to in the comment section below. If you've made it this far into the reading, you can give me a big thumbs up. And until next time, guys, stay divine. Hello, Pile 5, and welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this beautiful, glorious hagstone. I have an extra intro for you. Hello, witches. Hello, warlocks. Hello, magic practitioners. Yes, you were chosen to read this pile, I guess is what I wanted to say. It's what was trying to come out, but it feels like this reading, whatever comes out, was really meant for you. And, I shouldn't be surprised because I did take a very meditative approach today before I sat down with my readings, but I'm just, in awe of what I just drew for you guys. And, again, I shouldn't be surprised, but I really am. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. And I don't know why it's always my pile 5s or like the last reading of the day where my voice is going, where I get like the coolest people or, the coolest messages to relay. I don't always like having to tell people where their blind spots are. And sometimes the messages are just really cool and unique. Okay. And I'm just really lit up already. Okay. This set is different because my cat, Violet, my black cat, came up and wanted, to hang out for a long while. And, she sensed the sort of magical crew who was about to step forward energetically. I also pulled out this abalone shell, which has some clear quartz, a little shell fragment, and some sea glass, which is extra magical. And, this hagstone that you guys chose. If you don't know what this is, it's kind of like a witch's rock. It has natural holes in it, okay? And it's said to, help you to see into elemental worlds, sort of like the fairy realm, any realm that isn't ours. And I have wanted to find one of these for so long. I found one last year at Christmas Cove, and it's my favorite piece of, anything that I have collected and held with me. It's so cool to see such a magical reading and to see you here in this reading. So I started off with an animal medicine card for every pile just to sort of cue me into who I'm talking about, okay? So who am I linking up with energetically? And you guys got the owl, okay? So an omen for some of you, a negative omen, but for others who understand, how magical this owl is, that's a beautiful energy to work with. 21 breaks down to 3, okay? Creation, the goddess energy, and that's wonderful energy to work with. It's also, love, universal love, okay? So you guys are my seers. My pile 5s are my seers. You guys are clairvoyants. You guys dabble in astral projection and magic. Hopefully not black magic, but I understand that some of you do like to practice black magic. I just want to caution you that anytime you take someone else's power, you infringe on their free will, okay? And that's not very godlike of you. Now, some of you don't dabble in black magic and don't need to be scolded, so that's That's also you. But take a look at this, okay? So the World card came out for you guys, okay? The Queen of Wands in reverse, that's my signifier that it is a person, you, that I am talking to. Upright says someone coming in or a situation. Reversed, you are this Queen of Wands. Who is she? The most magical queen in the deck. She has her magic black cat right there, okay? So I'm very excited to read for you guys. The message from the owl right now. So where are you guys currently energetically? You're being told to listen to your dreams, and that your meditation and dreams are going to provide symbols and synchronicities for you right now. So it would be particularly useful to the world if you were to pay attention to your dreams and the signs and symbols and synchronicities that are going to be coming to you over the next 2 weeks. Okay, your dreams and meditations at this time will provide truth. Okay, that's a very strong message that's coming through, is that you guys are here right now energetically over the next 2 weeks. You're meant to shed light on truth. Okay, it's time to reveal some unseen truth, okay, to the world. And it feels like, who better than my magic practitioners, okay, my seers out there. And if you're feeling like you're not this person, maybe you have an untapped potential. But I am only going to be speaking to my seers in this crowd and using that lens moving forward, okay? So I always, have this habit of stopping myself and trying to reveal both sides of the coin, but I'm not doing that in this reading today. I'm getting down to the heart. What I really feel like the universe is trying to tell me right now is that there are secrets that you're supposed to reveal. Okay, this owl sees the unseen. Okay, it's able to pick up sounds so accurate that it can see them, essentially. Okay, this owl is pure magic. Okay, you guys are, magical beings. You guys chose this such a cool rock, being able to peer into fairy realms and just holding it and know that these holes are natural, like an animal burrowed through this stone to create these natural drilled holes. I mean, that's such a cool energy. You guys are the Queen of Wands too. So, that's the lens. That's energetically what we're looking at right now for you guys. And let's dive into the tarot. So, what did you get? Your focus right now should be revealing secrets. You got the card for me that talks about secrets. Upright, the Seven of Swords talks about, realistically walking away with some ideas and truths, okay, many, 5, and not being burdened by them, okay? So a lot of people take this as like a self-deceit card. The owl literally talks about deception. You guys, no one will ever get the wool over your eyes, okay? You can see through so many people's BS and right down to what's blocking them that they are afraid of you at times, okay? You guys are very, very wise and psychically, and people pick up on that, okay? And you might feel that people recoil from you or just, stay clear of you. It's because they're afraid of your power. Okay, quite literally, they're afraid of how powerful you are and, how you work and sense and manipulate the energies in the cosmos, okay, quite literally. So this, deception message came out so strongly because in the animal medicine deck, this card stands for deception, okay? No one can get deception past you, okay? No one will deceive you. It's impossible, okay? You work with such a cool energetic frequency. So this card, to me, it can't talk about self-deception because it's covered in the color of optimism, clear communication, intelligence, okay? And, awareness. This gorgeous dark goldenrod yellow color is the color of awareness, okay? And in reverse, it talks about hidden secrets, okay? So these two swords right now come into the forefront. In the upright position, okay, we have a lot of drawn detail to the toes and the feet here and how, skillfully this artisan is making away with these 5 swords, okay? He's not even burdened. He would be, usually. If you were to carry 5 gigantic swords, would you be able to walk away so nimbly and fleet of foot? I don't think so. But, even though he's looking backward, I don't really look over here. In reverse, the tension is drawn to these 2 swords. So what are you guys doing? You guys are literally clearing the mental debris from the collective consciousness to reveal what is true and what is not. You guys are sorting out the BS and quite literally being able to use your skill as a seer to get rid of these 5, untruths, okay? Fake news, anything that misleads people, okay? And you're able to reveal that right now. The first week, moving forward, it feels like revealing secrets for the world, okay? The owl comes up as a indicator to work with the magic of the owl. When it's in the upright position, you're being gifted, a boost of this, clairvoyance and psychic ability. It's you are being called because you are sensitive to tune into your dreams and what you're feeling right now and what you're seeing in the world and to call it out, to reveal the truth, okay, for the world. Some of us have been on a fool's journey and we're at the end of the fool's journey, okay? We're revealing the secrets. We're revealing whatever project we were on if this isn't about secrets, but I do get the sense that this has to do with secrets, okay? Especially, manipulation of data, skewing results, fabricating words, we're revealing that. That's our job right now, okay? Whoever is drawn to this pile, this is our job right now over the next week or two, okay? So the world is just such a supremely beautiful card, okay? I get that you guys, are gender fluid, sexually fluid. You don't really identify with any construct of gender. You guys understand that we have a masculine and a feminine attribute, and they both weigh equally, okay? They take up the same amount of space, so they are weighed equally. No feminine side is worth more than a masculine side, okay? No power of action is worth more than any power of feeling, okay? They take up the same amount of space. They weigh equally, okay? You guys have done this before. Old souls, okay? That's why you are able to work with these magics and sense them, okay? You've done this for many lifetimes, perhaps, because indeed, you guys are the Queen of Wands, okay? You have the power of inspiration and power of spirituality and life purpose to breathe life, from the void. Look at your black cat at your feet. So I quite literally have my black kitten Violet at my feet right now, okay? And a bed of sunflowers outside, okay? So you guys are able to work with the energies of the sun and the moon. I feel like some of you tend to work with the moon, but I also feel like the sun is, it doesn't get the attention it should in the spiritual community, okay? I feel like this is a very specific message for just a few of you. I feel like there's an aspect of the moon that humans aren't fully aware of, and I'm really steering energetically away from the moon lately in my own work and utilizing the sun. And this is a message for some of you to begin using the sun more than you use the moon. Okay? I don't know why that's coming out so strongly, but it feels like the most important thing in this second because I feel a strong pinch in my throat, and there it goes. So I also see these pyramids in the background, the pyramids of Giza. It feels like, such divine knowledge. And I can't even believe I didn't even see that. What is this number right here? 7, okay? The number of divine knowledge, the ability to work in the thought realm, 3, intangible, and to be able to pull that down into the concrete realm, the earth, 4, 3 and 4. To have a foothold in both is to create a third perspective, okay? Which is what you guys have. That's why you guys are so magical and inspirational, okay? You can call anything into being. You call all the shots quite literally. There's no one who can get anything past you. You're very magical. A lot of life purpose, a lot of spirituality, a lot of vigor in your personality, and just awareness. Okay, do you see how much yellow is in this spread? Okay, a lot of awareness and vitality. Okay, of course, an owl would also hark upon the idea of awareness. Okay, so what is the purpose of revealing these secrets and stepping into the world with your just abundant magic? Is because we're going to bring harmony to disharmony. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups in reverse, which kind of talks about disharmony, and it feels to me that this is not a period that you're entering. This is the purpose. Okay. Spirituality and life purpose is the suit of the wands to me, okay? And the cups, this very nostalgic, period here. The yellow, the white lilies even talk about thought. For me, lilies are about thought and, so awareness, communication, clear thinking. And it's time to, fill up the cup. It feels like to fill up, breathe spirituality and life into people so that we can uplift humanity, so that we can bring awareness to the fact that there is this element of spirit that people have been lacking and not nurturing. And it's time to give that side some, light, quite literally. And I think that's, literally using your craft, your level of mastery at something to bring this harmony into the world. Okay, so we have another 3 at the beginning and end of your reading. How magical is that? 3, the number of creation, again, love, power, okay? Love, especially creativity, and the Empress, okay? The Empress rules all the cards that deal with 3, okay? The divine goddess, okay? Creation herself feels like the Queen of Wands a bit too, okay? In the world, honestly. I I think collaboration is the call here. It's a very clear message for me that you guys are skilled artisans at whatever you do, whatever career you work in, whatever talent it is that you hone. You're an expert in that field. And we're just, sort of like the Master of Art card would be the individual alone. You are at that level of skill, of like the Eight of Pentacles, but you're called to, take that to the next step. I think in your lifetime, you've been working on this talent, this magic, whatever creative ability that you have, you've honed that over many lifetimes. And I think, to reach the apex of your soul's growth in this incarnation, it's time to, use an element of collaboration. It really feels like that there's some element missing. And I think it's because we don't need to focus so much in this incarnation on our task and our ability to create the one individual thing. We have to create with a group. It feels like a soul group. It feels like we need to, bring different collaborators into the project to help enrich everything. We need to bring in cross-pollinators is the message that was coming through very strongly. I'm sorry I sounded so weird saying that. So that's the most channeling I've ever done. I am a That was amazing. I know I probably sounded way too fast, but I was not about to stop that. Okay, that felt really beautiful. I feel very inspired by you guys right now, okay? So I'm going to draw a few more cards to sort of wind down this reading. I feel like I'm wired right now and buzzed. Haven't even had any coffee. So let's see if I can draw a few more cards for my pile fives. Okay. We'll take these guys. I saw color. Yep. This just tells me who I'm talking to. I got full body shivers just then. You guys this is hitting on, status quo. You're not supposed to follow the status quo. You're supposed to break the status quo, okay? And think outside the box, outside the box thinking. Outside the box thinkers are who I'm talking to. Color talks to me about pride. It really reminds me of this world card, someone who's intersex, someone who's gender fluid, someone who isn't really concerned about their identity. How do I mean that? I mean to say that you're not limited by in one box. You don't fit yourself in a box, okay? You fit outside the box quite literally. You never want to be pinned in a box, and that just, it's just telling me who I'm talking to and that this message was very, magical and inspiring to you. Status quo, we're supposed to change the status quo, and that's done by awareness. Okay, we're supposed to help level people up at this time to deliver awareness, and you guys know about what I'm talking about. Okay, I really don't feel like I need to go any further on this reading. Okay, I think it came out really beautifully the way it did, and I hope that this really resonated for you guys. If it did, I would love to talk to you guys in the comment section below, and if you've made it this far into the reading, please give me a big thumbs up. It helps other people receive these messages, and it also helps my channel grow. And until next time, guys, stay divine.